other countries.
Sorry, I forgot. Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's true. So basically you're a chauffeur.
yeah, I mean, I have a lot of fun with it, and I talk to my passengers. I don't make them sit in the back. Actually, they mostly demand to sit in the front. It's not a conventional relationship, chauffeur passenger relationship. And they usually control the playlist, the music playlist.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. I love it. So it's also, we have different styles of bringing our children. There's a conscious parenting. There's a parenting where you don't put any limits. You let them to do what they want and trusting they will learn how to read when they want, where the desire is there. There are parents who are very strict and they sit every day and they do the homework, like my twin sister, not me. But it's all different kind of things. And so tell me a bit more, how does your day look like? We are talking about online business, which
Yeah.
actually brings lots of profit and wealth to mums. But I just want to also peel a little bit the layer. How is it behind the scene? Like, how does your day look like?
Mm. So at the moment, my kids are a bit older now, and I often do look back on when my kids were younger, and I didn't know about this business when my kids were younger. And, some people say things like, oh, I wish I'd known about this business years ago. I honestly don't know if I would have been able to find space for anything else years ago.
Mhm.
Now my kids are older, so I do have these stretches where no one needs anything from me. So my days generally, although they can be like unpredictable, we don't have a schedule. We sort of have over the last couple of years gotten into a rhythm where my kids sleep late because they go to bed late, and I get up, at a more normal time. So I normally will have 2-3 hours in the morning before anyone's really demanding anything of me. But what I've found actually more important even than that, because what I do know over 16 years of parenting is you just get used to one rhythm and it changes. And so I actually find that I can't rely on a schedule. I actually practice something that I've been talking about a bit. It's a term that I've borrowed from Tony Robbins. I don't think he'll mind. He uses the word integration when he talks about his life and how they kind of manage their life, integration rather than work-life balance. And that's really important for me because we do travel and sometimes we don't. The kids might decide at short notice that they want to take a trip somewhere, or I might decide, and so it doesn't work for me to have a very strict schedule because it can change. So I do, but I'm also extremely flexible because my priority, my like full-time job that I don't get paid for, is mothering 4 children. And we talked about radical responsibility just before. That's really that's my main gig, and that's something that I'm not willing to compromise. So
Mhm.
everything that I bring in, including this business model, has to actually fit into the life that I already have, where
Mm.
I am very present with my children. So for me, it's about how I can integrate that. Like right now, I've actually only got 2 children with me. 2 of my kids stayed home. 2 of my kids are here. One of them is still asleep. The other one's in the kitchen making pancakes with her friend. And it will generally all kind of fit
Yeah.
somehow. Sometimes a bit messily or chaotically, but we just roll with it.
I love it what you said about integration. That when I found this business, well, my background is investment banker, holistic practitioner, gallerist, always working for somebody else, always kind of being in a box. But my mind is a freedom thinker like you. My mind since a little girl was freedom, outside the box, break the like what you live a life of world traveling and unschooling. That's my dream. That's really how I wanted to live my life since day one. And when you talk about integration, is like, for example, now Sarah is sitting here in a farm, but actually the activity she's doing is going to lead her business, is going to upgrade her business, is going to show a status that she knows what she's talking about. And for many women who are thinking like, oh, I'm not going to do this online business because I have nothing to share, no one is going to listen to me, I'm not perfect.
Yes.
Ladies, imperfection is sexy. if you are perfect, people cannot relate to you. So tell me a bit
I
more
mean,
about that.
if you happen to be perfect naturally.
No one is perfect. Forget it.
But yeah, no, absolutely. That's right. You know, that is exactly what I mean by integration. And what's really interesting and very different about this type of business, and why we call it like a freedom business model, is that what you do right now pays dividends like forever. It's such a paradigm shift from going and doing a job where you get paid for that hour or that piece of work, or like even if you're like a coach or something, and where you charge someone $100 an hour, so you do that hour, they give you $100. That's it. You may or may never get any more money from them again. You might not see them again, or even if they're a repeat client, they're going to pay you for your time. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about how we can use the life that we've already got, and even while we're in creation mode, and how we can inspire others and actually attach that to a business model that's going to pay us forever. It's actually mind-blowing, isn't it?
It's amazing. I just had a lady, actually several people today reaching to me. It's like, I don't get it. And I would like to be transparent. Authenticity, I can't say it. Transparency is my biggest value. So we are a community of freedom lovers, freedom people who want to be outside of the box, who want to get out. And we are all over the world. We are a global company. We have an educational platform which teaches people how to powerfully show their voices and how to use social media. And we partner with an amazing company which has been here for 50 years using highest technology water product. And what we do, how we earn money, is by being ourselves, owning who we are, learning, upgrading, and showing it on a social media. And then if someone says, I want to earn 2K, 20K, 100K, million K, how do you do it? Then we will take the next step. But the first step is just being yourself, and you already have all the goodness, all the wisdom inside of you. Is just the self-sabotage which actually stops us. So tell me, Sara, a little bit more how you are going to Japan as well, right? We have this big convention.
I'm not going to Japan.
You decided not to go because you're going to Australia.
Because honestly, our year, I can't even tell you everything about our year. I just can't do it. There's too many. Yes, we are going back to Australia. My husband is taking a contract in Dubai. So like going to Japan at that time of year, I just couldn't imagine how I could do it.
That's not a problem. And but the thing is that you can take your business with you whenever you go.
Yeah.
So tell me how what inspires you? Like what is your niche? Like who do you want to speak to? What is your biggest message to the women who are watching this and think like, I would love to travel the world, but I don't have the money to do it, or how do I do it? Do I have the business? They're confused. So what would you say to them?
Well, I guess the people that I really love to serve more than anyone are families who are choosing to live outside of the school system, whether they're traveling or not, because I believe strongly in the power of taking back our parental responsibility, which is caring for our own children. So that's something that I'm quite almost militant about. Like I am not up for handing over care of my children to government, to state, to officialdom. I think we've been tricked into thinking we can't educate and care for our own children. So really that's my mission, to show other families how they can actually take their power back, because the biggest barrier to that actually for most families is money. They overwhelmingly will say, I want to do this, but I don't know how to do it. We don't have enough money, or we don't have a model yet that's going to support us to live in freedom, because we have to go to a job and therefore we need the care of our children in school, right? And this is the great con, right?
That's the vicious circle, that catch-22, right?
Yeah, and look, it's a real challenge, and I get it. Like, it's tricky. Um, so my desire is to show families what they can do instead, and to connect them to a plan. And for me, it's very comforting, because when you're a busy parent, the last thing I've got time for, and energetic as well as physical time, is coming up with my own thing. Like, and I did do that for a bit, coming up with my own idea for a business, coming up with my own product or offer. That's just overwhelming when you've got a lot of other plates spinning.
Yeah.
So I want parents to know there's something else out there. Someone else has already designed it for us.
Yeah.
People are already using this, and have been for, I think the compensation plan was designed in like 1987 or something like that. Like, I was hearing the dates the other week. So this is like a long-standing offer, in terms of, because there's a lot of things out there. Like, we would all see these things on social media that are constantly in front of us, where you can invest $50 and earn 11% per month, until the platform collapses in a year's time. This is not that. This is not that. There's a high degree of like reliability and ethics behind this. It's already there. People are already using it. So to me, when I was looking for something that I didn't have to come up with myself, because I'm busy coming up with everything else in my life, I'm like, oh, this makes so much sense to me.
Yeah, that's so powerful. This business actually ticks all the boxes. One, it's fully established and it's operating for already 50 years. And we are part of this kind of compensation plan, which takes you to a certain level. That's called legacy level, where you receive money for life every single month. And we attend different events. I met, met virtually a person who has been receiving this kind of monthly income for 25 years already.
Wow.
18 years, 20 years. This is something which in Japan, there are companies which there are several companies which are older than 1,000 years. And when they talk about generational wealth, that's very deeply embedded in Japanese culture. That means that you get paid this lifetime if your children, but also the children can actually take it. If you pass, if you die, you can will it, you can give it to your children, and they will receive money. So think about that. If you don't have a pension, if you don't want your kids to suffer in the future and be subjected to 9-to-5 job, the slavery, then in that kind of vicious circle, this is a beautiful way to ensure that you leave a legacy for your kids. Like, every mom, raise your hand who's watching it. This is my biggest wish, to know that my children don't have to suffer.
Yeah.
And this is the model. And it's easy, super easy. We use automation and duplication. The biggest problem is our own self-sabotage. System works. It's just our personal growth. And that's where we have an educational platform and mentorships to help you with.
Yeah. Actually, you touched on a big point, which is what's going on up here. I had to really actually accept or open up to the idea of having more than I already had, and wanting to leave something for my children, because there's such a epidemic of scarcity in our society, in our culture. Like, we think, oh, I had to work hard for it, I didn't get these opportunities, why should my children get them? And I think when people are very, very honest with themselves, they get triggered by the idea of their children having it easier than they had it. I absolutely used to think, because my husband used to say, I want to actually be able to buy houses for my children. And I'd be like, well, no one bought us houses. We were okay. No one bought us a car. No one helped us, which is true, because our parents didn't have any money. My husband and I have worked since we were 15 years old for everything. We have always worked, always earn our own money. And it's not because our parents wouldn't want to help us. They just haven't had anything to help us with. And so I had this notion, well, why should I help my children? I didn't get helped myself, which is a massive, massive kind of scarcity wound in our society. Yeah. And something had to switch in my heart, really, to say, oh, I actually want to help my kids. Why wouldn't I want to be able to give my kids what my parents couldn't give me? Yeah. And but I had to actually understand, I had to get that first. So that's been a massive area of growth for me. And that is where I would self-sabotage.
Yes.
Because I didn't want, I felt that lack. Why should my children have something easy? Why should they have an easier life than I had? So I thank you for raising that, because I think that's actually huge for a lot of people.
Yeah, and I would like to thank you also and celebrate you for coming up with this, you know, open up to this very taboo topic that you are mom and you actually don't want your kids to be better off than you are. I mean, come on, this is the biggest thing.
That's sad, isn't it?
Right?
That's sad.
Or actually loving your kid less than you love yourself, you know, or loving, there are whole things. And so this business, if you're an entrepreneur, the biggest, fastest way to uncover who you are and how to upgrade your whole existence on this planet is to start a business which is based on you. On your personality, because you start to uncover all these things. And when the money is coming, you know, when I had also 10,000 week, 10,000K week, and for me that was huge. But before I could receive it, all the self-sabotaging beliefs: am I worthy? Can I hold it? Will I lose it? I had to work on that. And this is so predominant in European culture, and we talked about it. So very shortly, I'll be doing a big masterclass on movement, like abundance movement for Europe, where we're going to be talking exactly about the generational poverty and scarcity mindset in Europe. Why do we do it? You know, why these kind of things are here. But there's a big topic, huge topic.
That's, oh my God, yeah, that's
scarcity poverty mindset. And yeah, so what I would love to, if you had a message for any mom who is at home with their children, she doesn't want to send them to school, she wants a better life, might have some money or might not, definitely some scarcity mindset is lurking around somewhere, what would you say to them?
I would say just start and put one foot in front of the other, and actually try to, it's great to be inspired by other people. I'm inspired by other people all the time. But for mums who are really busy and find just mothering on its own overwhelming, when you look at other people who seem to have it all together, that can be so overwhelming that it's hard to get started, because you think, oh, I could never do that. How, in my situation, my kids are around all the time, it's really intense, they're really demanding. How can I do what this other person over here is doing? And so actually you need to really block out what other people are doing if it's stopping you from moving forward, and just start, because this is a kind of business that you can take as long as you want to build, or you can make big moves real quick. There's every variation here, right? And as soon as you start to, when you look at someone who has moved really, really quickly, but then you go, oh, but they don't have any kids, that's why. That can stop you from moving forward. So I would say, mums, get real clear on your vision, get real clear on how you want to take responsibility for your family, and get out of your own way and start.
Yeah, brilliant. I love it. And if you don't know what your vision and purpose is, we can help you. We can help you with the first step, going into a discovery process, which will discover who you are, what you want, what is your dream. And it's free. It's a risk-free thing. It's a risk-free process. You have 2 weeks to go for it. And I recommend it to anyone who is actually now in transition and looking for something outside their current reality, not wanting to get a better life. I would recommend it. Just go through it, experience it for yourself, and then you make your own educated decision. So if you are interested in that, please reach to me or to Sara, whoever is watching, and we'll be happy to offer this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a discovery process, is a beautiful vision setting exercise.
Yeah, I love it. Vision setting exercise. Yes.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much, beautiful.
You're so welcome.
Thank you so much. And we're going to talk more. We can talk for hours.
Yes, we can. See you soon.
Bye-bye.